Hello and welcome to another episode.
I hope you can hear me. It's pretty loud here. The waves are bigger than we thought. We're at the beach. It's Friday afternoon and our workaways had the wish to go surfing one more time. So they're out there doing that. The conditions aren't perfect, but it's their last chance. Our week has been very busy, exciting, at times very exhausting. It really feels like we're running not a sprint, but a marathon. And in a way, we're competing with our baby, who's first. The due date is in about 2 weeks. So it could come before that. It could come 2 weeks later, obviously, as well. But anyway, we try to get the bathroom ready until it's there. So you might remember that we wanted to go skiing last week, and unfortunately that didn't happen. It was too windy, and in the beginning of the week we actually had a really big storm with a lot of rain. It was really uncomfortable outside and apparently too windy for the resorts to open. So instead, we went back home and my daughter helped me to finish the layer of OSB board that we had started laying out last week. And then, together with a friend of mine who was there this week, we started running all the electricity to all the different spots in the bathroom. And as you can imagine, it takes a lot of discussions and measuring to find out where you want to have the sockets. While he was doing most of the work on the walls with the electricity, I started to put in the door. And then when the door was sitting at the right spot and was level and everything, I closed the 2 gaps next to it and closed that wall. Meanwhile, our workaways, who are somewhere in the water down there, continued plastering the wall down in the new kitchen. And then on Monday I got some new screws because I had only fixed the wall panels with some screws that weren't ideal, and then I got the bigger ones to actually finish that job. Then I plastered the walls with the first rough layer, and we're gonna do a fine layer later, except in those spots where the tiles go. Next up was to position the shower and see where that has to go. And at that point, we decided to put another layer of wood on the floor, but let past Linus explain why.
As you have seen, I've made a new floor with these OSB strand boards, but in some parts it's still giving a little, and I think it would be totally fine to put tiles on top. But we have the shower. It has like an area where the water flows down and 3 centimeters high. And we thought that if we put one more layer of wood, and then the tiles will get exactly that height and we'll have everything in one level. And so I'm gonna put another layer of wood that goes across. So that will give it even more stability, and then we have like a solid plate of wood, basically of 2 layers that are connected to each other. And it should be quick. Yay! The puzzle is ready.
And then it was time to put in holes for all the freshwater supply and also the sewage system. So all of these holes have to go in the right spots, and it's not only about finding the right spot in the best layout for the bathroom, but also considering where there are beams underneath so that they don't go through a beam.
So for example, the toilet, we had to move a little bit because where I wanted to put it, there was a beam exactly where the pipe would go. But I can't put it too much to this side, because then when you get up you will bump your head against this. But if you put it too far to that side, it will be very close to the sink, and if we put the sink further down the way, we don't have much space for a cupboard there, and it will get close to the door. So that's kind of what I'm figuring out. Or for the shower, which is gonna go here, we had planned to have the drainage at the back, but there's a beam exactly at that spot, and we don't have space to go somewhere else. So we're gonna turn it around, which I think looks maybe strange, but will actually have the advantage that if you're standing in the corner to shower, you're not standing on the drainage.
And here you see what happens if you don't cover everything up from beneath. So I drilled holes and everything landed on the vegetables. And then I later put on some cardboard to protect everything in the kitchen down below. Then it was time to build a case for the bathtub. And this also took quite some time because it has to be level, it has to be the right size, and unfortunately the bathtub is coming maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after tomorrow. Anyway, it's not here yet, so I had to be very careful to not get anything wrong. We then fixed all the water supplies and the sewage because it needs to be fixed before we can waterproof everything. And that took quite a while and was rather complicated in some cases to get the tubes in the right spots. And we're using this system called multi-couche, which is basically a tube made of plastic, aluminium and plastic, and you can press them together. And they hold up for a very long time, and it's a system that you can do basically by yourself. We wanted the plumber to come and help us, but he didn't have time, so we had to do all of this ourselves or with the help of the friends that were there. But the system seems to be working really well and is easy to assemble, and we'll see if everything is watertight once everything is connected. Once we had all the connections done, we knew exactly where the shower would go, where the bathtub would sit, and had the case for the bathtub built. It was time to clean everything up. And then my wife started with waterproofing the walls where tiles go and the floor, so that in the next step she can tile on top of this. But before we tile, we'll put in a heating mat that will heat up the floor, and we dry fitted that to see if everything works. It's a long mat, it's like 7 meters long, and then you can cut it in certain parts. We did that so to see where it goes exactly, so that the installation will be easy. For this heating, it needs a temperature sensor in the floor, so I had to cut a groove in the wood where the temperature sensor can sit in. It's actually a pipe that sits in there, and then you can change out the temperature sensor. And I had to do that before we cover it with tiles and the mat, of course. So that was it for this week. Tomorrow my wife will start tiling. I will see if I put some of the footage in this video, or maybe it will be in the next. And on Sunday we'll have a next go at seeing if we can go skiing before our workaways leave France. This week has been great in many ways because we got a lot of stuff done. It's also been really exhausting again. I have huge problems with my hands again because I've obviously working too much. Thanks for all of those that commented on the message we got. We'll probably write a message tomorrow and decide what we put in it and then put it under the shower. And I want to finish this video by just saying what a great feeling it was this week to have some help. People that just saw that we needed help and came, and yeah, it was fantastic because you're so much faster when people are helping, and it's more fun, and really it's like I said in the beginning, it's like running a marathon, and it's like at some stages some people are running with you and just motivating you to go further. I hope that you have friends like that, and I hope that if you're ever in need of help that you find people that help you and that you ask for help. I had to learn that, to ask for help, but when I do, I mostly get it, so that's really great. See you next week. We'll see who wins the battle, who comes first, the baby or the bathroom. And until then, have a good time. Be kind to your friends, give them a hug, and bye-bye.